Hello. There have been reports this week that supermarkets are toughening up their stance on non mask wearers. It seems to me that whereas before you could normally just walk in and no one would ask you anything most of the time, now there's going to be more security on the doors. They're going to ask everyone who comes in, have you got a mask? And if you haven't, you need to provide some sort of exemption. Hopefully, a card will do. Now, this does make me rather angry because what is the reason and what is the purpose for this? Already, since the mask mandate came in, around 95% of people put a mask on anyway without being asked. So, in a typical morning or afternoon in any major supermarket, you'll perhaps find one or two or three people walking around without a mask. But it's a small percentage, sadly. So are the government and are these chief executives of these various supermarkets seriously believing that one or two people walking around in their store, not getting close to anyone because you don't generally get close to anyone in the supermarket, not wearing a mask, are causing a serious threat to public health? Where is there proof of that? Is this genuinely about safety or is this about social engineering? You see, I would not have a problem putting a mask on under these conditions. Number one, that I knew, and it had been proven, that I am not going to suffer any health damage to my health, oxygen deprivation, breathing in carbon dioxide, brain damage, and all kinds of diseases that can result from that. It could prove it was safe for me, and that whoever was doing the risk assessment was personally liable if I did get sick as a result of wearing a mask. And two, that you could prove that in that given place or setting, that there was a genuine danger to other people's health for me not wearing a mask. That there was someone in there, that there was a real chance that someone was going to get seriously ill if I didn't wear a mask. A bit like you wear a high hat when you go onto a building site. There's a genuine risk to yourself for not wearing a high hat, which is why you're told to do it. So if there's a genuine danger and it was genuinely about safety and not about social engineering, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But all the evidence shows this is not about safety. It is about social engineering. It's training the public up to live in a dystopian technocratic society. Even Matt Hancock and the likes of Anthony Fauci were saying early on this pandemic that healthy people should not be wearing a mask. But then the WHO yo-yoed. Well, you can't take that seriously. This is all being done for political reasons. It's not genuinely about health. You wouldn't suddenly change your mind on that. Within a week. You shouldn't wear masks now. You should. Science, I thought, was far more advanced than that. And of course, there are many doctors who are warning about the effects of mask wearing. Dr. Vernon Coleman and Dr. Dolores Cahill, for instance. But here's the thing. I feel personally insulted by being told to wear a mask when it is not genuinely about safety. When someone asks me to put a mask on and they can't provide a genuine reason for it, it makes me feel like a piece of dirt. It says to me, you don't matter, you don't need to do Y, just do as you're told. And that attitude has always angered me. In fact, I've often been very angry when there are rules in place which don't have a reason, and especially when the real reason behind the rules is working against you and not for you. It may well be that these mask mandates, the real reason for them, and I cannot prove this, but I've heard it said, it is to try and to test out eye recognition software. So actually they're telling you it's about safety, it's about mitigating the spread of a virus. But actually, the real reason is they're trying to test out eye recognition software where if they can identify you just by your eyes alone, and they need you to cover up your the rest of your face so they can see if this technology is working. Now, I don't know if that is the reason, but I know that there is a reason for it which is working against us. And that makes me angry because it makes me feel like I'm being treated like a piece of dirt, and it's an insult to my intelligence, and it's an insult to my self-respect. So again, I have no problem if A, you can prove it's not going to do any damage at all to my health and you're personally liable if it does, and B, that you can prove that it is genuinely about mitigating the effects of a public health emergency, that there is someone in that store that is going to be at serious risks if I don't wear a mask. Not just some generic, it's for your safety, catch-all arbitrary safety. That's not good enough. You've got to prove that in that particular environment, there is a real danger that someone is going to get seriously sick and someone's going to be seriously harmed for me not wearing a mask. Those are the circumstances that I would accept a mask. But otherwise, no to the masks, no to social engineering. We need to resist this. We need those chief executives of those supermarkets to start looking at media such as the UK Column and start listening to doctors such as Dr. Vernon Carman and Dr. Dolores Cahill and Andrew Kaufman and those who are warning about the effects of masks and the agenda behind them. But if those chief executives are all sort of bought out and doing it all for money, then we need the middle management to take a stand, to refuse to enforce the mask mandates. And particularly, and if the middle management don't get the lower managers to do it, the bottom line security staff, we need these people to learn the truth, to turn off the BBC, to look at proper independent media. Here's another good one. This is the Light paper. This is a brilliant newspaper. We need to spread this one out, get this in different stores and that. But we need these people working in supermarkets to be exposed to this information and then to apply that to their jobs by refusing to enforce mask mandates. That's what needs to happen. Thanks for watching.